Hey, what's up boys, I'm supposed to use back with another video. Now today guys, this is going to be a different video. We're not going to be reacting to anything, we're not going to be playing some games, even though a gaming video is coming soon. And we are not doing any information, we are doing an unboxing tech video. And just so you know, I'm not a tech YouTuber, and I will never be. But I thought, since most of my videos have been using like phone devices and lots of tech, I thought I might show you what's going on behind the scenes and what sort of tech I do have. Some people as well question me on what tech I have, even though it's not on YouTube, but away from YouTube. But yeah, they've been questioning me and I thought I'd answer it on this YouTube video. So, without any further ado, let's get started, shall we? So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing an evolution of my phones so far. Next video I might do is evolution on watches, because I might be getting a new one soon, which I'm very looking forward to. But anyway, phones. So my first phone I had, I can't remember what year it was, but it was the first phone I ever got during secondary school. It was the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now, let me tell you this. It was awful from beginning to end. It was brand new as well, but it was just plain awful. Battery sucked, display sucked, the specifications sucked, and it was just unusable, to be honest, and I barely used it as a phone. So, if you do, especially in 2022, if you do end up getting this, just may God be with you. The second phone I had was an iPhone 5. This is when I started to use phones a lot more now, because when I first used this, it was pretty good actually. It was pretty good. And just so you know as well, all of these future phones have been second-hand, except the new one, which I'm about to show you, and the S3, which is brand new, like I said, but the rest is second-hand or hand-me-downs. This is my dad's, although he's still out there getting the milk. Can't decide what type he wants. He's struggling on skimmed, semi-skimmed. Anyway, he handed me this phone, and this was the phone that made me like phones a lot. And this is when I started getting into iPhones, to be honest. Yes, I admit, at that time I was an iPhone boy, which is why, a few years later, when this phone started to slow down and be unusable due to the batteries and stuff, I switched to an iPhone 7, which was possibly the best Apple device I ever owned, to be honest, because this was also the last Apple device which I owned. It was actually really smooth, it was working really well. There was no fault actually. The reason why I changed it was just because it was a bit small and the battery was a bit small again, because Apple batteries then were questionable, let's say. So then, when I decided to get my own phone, it was a second-hand one. We don't need this anymore, because I've got my collection of phones here now, which is not a lot, just so you know. But the first phone I ever bought by myself was a Google Pixel 3a. I don't know if this has got any batteries in there, but let me say, this was, you can see it properly, a brilliant phone at the time. It wasn't the Pixel 3 or 3XL, it was the 3A, the budget version of the 3. £399, and it was terrific, actually, terrific. However, when I was using it, a year later, it started to do the same as the iPhones, but I guess that's the same with all the phones, to be honest. Only that this one was really slowing down. The battery was worse than the iPhone 5 for some odd reason, I don't know why. Still can't figure it out yet, although I barely use it now. But yeah, I would say this phone, if you want to get it, is good for light activity. But for me, who likes a bit of heavy usage, like watching videos, taking photos and everything, because I am a tech person, to be honest, this is not the phone for you. Which is why, when I got another phone, I actually downgraded to a Pixel 2. Now this might seem weird, but this was actually a lot better to use in the long term than the Pixel 3. Mainly because this was supposed to be a flagship when it launched. I think it was in 2016, I think. Can't remember. And it wasn't really used a lot at the time, this was my granddad's, and he didn't really use it a lot. So when I got it, it was stupendously fast, very snappy, very good haptics. But just recently it's started to let go a little bit, to be honest. So I decided to get myself a brand new phone. And this is when the unboxing starts. Also, please forgive the setup. This is my first ever unboxing, and I tried to make it look as professional as possible, even though the background and the floor was made out of paper. Straight away, when I found the downside of my new phone, in case you haven't noticed, is the Nothing Phone 1. This downside straight away was indeed the unboxing, you'll see, but it was just horrible to unbox. You see a lot of these other YouTubers slowly peeling away at the tab very smoothly and then just smoothly putting it out. Tried to do the same thing. It ended up taking me 2 hours to unbox. All right, it's because the actual box. I don't know why, but it just will not want to open for me. But after an hour later, I managed to get it unboxed. And then I had the other struggle of trying to get the phone out and the other pieces as well, and trying to get the sleeve out as well. So that took a bit of time, but eventually when the phone did come out, it was pretty big actually. I'll show you a comparison in a minute actually. But I managed to unbox it, got the phone out, got the charger, got the SIM tool, which is possibly the coolest SIM tool I've ever used in my life actually. It's pretty cool. But nevertheless, I took it out of the peel. And in case you didn't see, if you can see, the peel was also horrible to use. It was going so well until it just decided to rip, and it was very unsatisfying for me. But I eventually unboxed it, and my opinion on the phone changed completely. Right, so I've used the phone for only 13 hours, I believe. Let's just do that again. There you go. That's probably the party piece of the whole phone, to be honest. But so far from when I used it, it's been the best phone I've ever used in my life, with the Snapdragon 738G Plus chip, 120Hz display, OLED by the way, 8GB of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, wireless and wired charging, including reverse wireless charging with the cooler little lighting system there. And let me say this phone is huge. Here's a little comparison between the Pixel 2, which is already a normal sized phone, and the Nothing Phone 1. It's pretty big. But I was like, you know, the bigger, the better. Bigger is always better. That's what she said. I decided to take it outside for a little bit and take some photos and videos, and I was met with another surprise. I took the photos were brilliant, and the videos as well were better than I thought as well, since you see these reviews of the Nothing Camera app not being as good as Google's camera. Although I don't really see the problem, because I've been using the Google camera on this and this as well. This is better from what I've experienced anyway. I only took very few photos and 2 videos. One video 1080p 60fps and one other video 4K 30. And I would say, as a video guy, strangely actually, I prefer the 1080p 60, because the 1080p, because this has got a bigger sensor than the Pixel, 1080p looks more than 1080p, and the 60fps obviously makes it very, very smooth. 4K looks stunning, but the 30 frames does make it a bit stuttery a little bit, but then again, that's my personal preference. It was the same with this as well, 4K 30, 1080p 60 FPS, but this is just better quality overall because it's got the newest camera hardware. And I decided for the first time actually to take a portrait mode. Yes, that's right, as a tech guy I never really took portraits, but I took a picture of it. I was amazed. used. I put it on my Instagram actually because it was really good. Check out my Instagram, by the way. I took it on my Instagram. It looks amazing. So I can safely say as well, out of all the phones I've used, so far, just from a bit of experience, this is the best phone I've ever used, and it's a very good price as well, starting at £399 in the UK. And that's for the lower version, which I've got, but it doesn't really matter obviously because this is much better at storage than the Pixels that I've been using. So I'm hoping to use this for a long time, and hopefully it won't really let go as soon, since this is a brand new phone that's got released this year. But yeah, to be honest, that's all I wanted to show you. To be honest, just a quick little video on what type of tech that I use, which is phones. I might be doing more soon. Like I said, I might be doing some watches soon, because I might be replacing my new smartwatch. But yes, that was just a quick little video. I hope you like it. If you do, then please comment and subscribe on the video. And I will see you guys in the next video on my channel. Adios, amigos.